Next on the track, a second 1500 here. This one for the men in the T12 classification for visual impairment. And in this class, these men have some sight. Some will require guides, others won't. 3 of the 5 entries here today will run with guides. As we get set to introduce the athletes here after that stirring T11 1500 final. These men, no doubt, inspired by the sounds of the crowd. And there's the Brazilian Yeltsin Ortega Jacques running in lane number 1. Jacques, a gold medalist in the T12 5000 at these games. Medals at World Championship competition as well, silver and bronze. Running in lane number 2 from Colombia, Herman Angarita Otero. Otero was 4th in that 5000. This is his second appearance at the games. Lane number 3 from Ecuador, Sisto Moreta. Moreta was a silver medalist in the T12 1500 last year at the Paris South America Games. Running in lane number 5, one of the fastest men in this field, Elkin Alonso Serna Moreno. Moreno was a bronze medalist in the 5000 here, a 2-time silver medalist in Paralympic competition. Lane number 5 from Venezuela, Roger Rodriguez. Rodriguez did not finish the 5000 in the T12 class at these games. He's a bronze medalist in 800 meters in 2011 in Guadalajara. Field for the men's T12 1500. So Jeff, we have a mix here of athletes running with guides and 2, the Colombian Otero and the Ecuadorian Moreta, who will not.
In this category, it's their right to choose whether to run with or without a guide.
On your mark.
Begun and they're away in the final of the men's T12 1500 meters. Running through that back straight on a sunny, warm, humid night here in Toronto. And it is the Brazilian Yeltsin Ortega Jacques who decides to take the rail of the lead just ahead of Venezuela's Roger Rodriguez. And in behind him, the Colombian Otero.
Jacques running with his guide, but running untethered, it seems, which is one of the techniques, one of the styles that they can run with. Athletes can run either tethered or not.
So the tethered athletes have the help, the strategizing, and the tactics of the guide. The other 2 athletes will have to make their own decisions. As Otero of Colombia runs uptight in 3rd place by himself, along with Moreno of Ecuador, who's back in 4th place. So the Brazilian in the lead right now, Ortega Jacques, just in front of Otero and Moreno. Moreno and Otero, Colombian teammates, and it looks like Otero might be playing off his Colombian teammate and his guide right now, keying off him in 3rd.
With a 75-second opening lap, these runners are running well within themselves. Not a very strong start, not a very high pace.
The Venezuelan Rodriguez sitting back about 8 meters in 2nd place, with Otero in 3rd. With 800 meters to go, 2 laps of the track left, and the Brazilian Ortega Jacques opening a 10-meter lead now on the 2nd and 3rd place men, Rodriguez and Otero.
This race quickly turning into a race for silver and bronze.
The second Colombian has fallen well off the pace. Serna Moreno at the back of the pack, in behind Sisto Moreta of Ecuador, about 20 meters behind the 2nd and 3rd place finishers. And the gap keeps growing now as Ortega Jacques of Brazil has opened a 20-meter lead coming down the straight, untethered but running with the guidance of his sighted guide. In behind the Venezuelan Rodriguez, and quickly behind him, the Colombian Otero. Bell lap here of the men's T12 1500, and running away with this one is Yeltsin, Ortega, Jacques, and now the Colombian makes a move. Check that, it's the Venezuelan makes the move past the Colombian as Otero jumps out in front of Rodriguez. The Colombian, tall strides, running all by himself down the back straight in second place now. And the guide for Ortega, Jacques, is having a hard time keeping up with the Brazilian in first place as he hits a kick with 200 meters to go. Otero of Colombia and Venezuela's Rodriguez in second and third. And look at this, Jacques opening up a powerful kick, and his guide can't keep up. Down the straight he comes, Brazil's Yeltsin. Ortega Jacques leaving his own guide 10 meters and growing in his wake. Jacques powering his way to victory. The guide 10 meters behind him at the line. And down the straight comes Otero of Colombia, running by himself to second. And Rodriguez of Venezuela will finish third.
You know, at the bell, it looked like Jacques' guy did show some signs of stress, was showing some pain on his face. Sure enough, Jacques ran away with that race, even from his own guide. What a performance here tonight.
The outcome was academic, and Jacques, obviously with enough vision to feel his way to victory as he runs away from Rodriguez and Otero early in this race. The Colombian second at 4:06:23. Followed by Rodriguez at 4:08:55. But Yeltsin, Ortega, Jacques, a command performance 3:56:73 and a Parapan record.
Here we see Jacques striding along his guide, a yard behind, a meter behind. He's pulling away. This is where he made his move, started pulling away from the pack, leaving Otero and Rodriguez behind. And Otero and Rodriguez running together at this point, but the outcome is academic. And here we see Jacques lengthening his stride, sprinting to the finish line, running extremely well, running away from his guide, crossing the finish line, claiming the gold medal. Look at the pain and stress on the guide's face. And Jacques crossing the line in victory.
May have to invest in another guide if he gets into a race where it's really close.
That's right.
He's going to need some advice.
And you know, who knows? I mean, the guide may not be feeling great. He may have a stomach bug. There's a million things that can go wrong with a performance. And when you have not just one athlete where everything has to go right, but where you have to have the guide not just performing, but being healthy, and it's so complex.
These results are unofficial. There is a hold on these results on this race as Yeltsin, Ortega, Jacques runs away with the gold ahead of Germán Agarita Otero of Colombia and Roger Rodriguez of Venezuela. Sisto Moreta and Elton Alonso Serna Marino finishing in fourth and fifth